Welcome, restaurateurs. In this video, we're going to be discussing the creation of in-house deals using your Spins backend. Now, we've already covered the creation of standard deals in a previous tutorial video. Many of the topics that we discussed in that video you'll actually find are very similar to the creation of an in-house deal. You'll also find other tutorial videos where we discuss the best practices and strategies for in-house deals. This video is going to be more focused on the mechanics of creating in-house deals, but we'll also touch on those topics to get you more familiar with them as we get through the process. So after you log into Spins, you'll navigate over to the Deals section, and then you'll arrive here in the Deals panel. At the top, you'll see the Standard Deals section that we've already gone through. Down below that, you'll see In-House Deals. So in-house deals are the deals that customers will spend when they are physically in your restaurant. Now, your customers' experience with in-house deals are probably going to be the very first experience they have if they visited your restaurant and just saw your Spins promotional materials in your restaurant. By the way, you can order more of your table tents or on-site promotional materials by following this link here. So a restaurant has Spins already set up. The customer's experience when they come in is they'll see it and they'll install the app. Upon installing the app, they'll actually be presented with the opportunity to spin for a deal. That is your in-house deal. When a customer comes into your restaurant after having Spins installed somewhere else and they came in on a deal, if they're physically coming in to check into your restaurant, they'll also get an opportunity to spin an in-house deal as well. So in-house deals are something that your customers are going to be experiencing very frequently, and it provides you with a great opportunity to add value and replay factor for your customers. They're physically going to be like, oh, you know what, we should totally go to that restaurant because they've got those really cool deals when you spin in-house. So discussing briefly the strategy of how we get to what we're going to build in the in-house deals is something we're going to cover as we begin the process. So let's go ahead and start. As you'll see here in red, we've actually mentioned to you that you need to have at least 3 very frequent or frequent in-house deals for the campaign to go live. Let's cover that in more detail after we start the process. So we're going to go ahead and choose to add an in-house deal. And this should look very familiar to you if you've already watched our creation of the standard video. So entire order, single item, custom deal, or cloning an existing deal. These are the 4 steps that we will follow. We're going to go ahead and start with single items so that we can kind of tread some familiar ground. So if you start to create an in-house deal, the first thing it's going to ask you when you make a single item is to ask for the item name. I'm going to go ahead and list my curly fries. So Mike Sandwiches creates these great curly fries, and we want to just go ahead and let them be the kind of item that somebody would get an in-house spin on. Typically, when we're talking about in-house deals, having something like side items or secondary menu items are really great choices, as well as entree items. You can create in-house deals that are virtually identical to your existing Spins deals, but the discussion of how frequently somebody can land on these is what really determines how you're going to be presenting your in-house deals. So my curly fries have a menu price of $4. So I'm going to go ahead and list that in there. Again, the customer will not see this price. This number just helps us to better value and distribute your deals to the customers internally. Now, of course, my curly fries are really a side item. So I'm going to go ahead and choose side, and then I'm going to choose next. So it's going to give me these opportunities to list multiple discounts. And I have a number of choices for how I want to do this. If a customer comes in and they've just installed the app, do I want this deal to be something that they see frequently? And if it's something that's going to be very frequent, do I want it to be a really, really big discount? Well, I want this deal to be one of the more frequently seen in-house deals. So I don't necessarily want to give away a huge discount on my curly fries. Maybe one of my other items, like a soda, which has a very, very low overhead cost. That's something that I would make very, very frequent, and I would make a deal amazing. I'd probably make it like maybe even a choice for a free soda or something like that. But I'm going to go ahead and list for my curly fries, I'm going to list at least 20% off and 25% off. And then I'm going to go ahead and knock 75 cents off and even $1 off of that. And that's where I'm going to go. I'm just going to leave my curly fries with those 4 discounts. And I'm not going to choose any of these other deal options. These are great. I'm sure for your menu items, you might have something that just giving away for free is very appropriate. But I'm going to go ahead and skip these right now just to keep it simple. Let's go forward and choose next. So now it's provided me with the deal frequency choice. So do I want the curly fry offers that I've created here, about 20 and 25% off or 75 cents off or $1 off, do I want these to be something that's extremely rare where someone would only have like a 0.5% chance of getting? It's about a 1 in 200 chance. Or do I want it to be kind of a rare chance, about 4%? Do you want it to be a frequently seen item, which would be, about a 30% chance? Or do I want those curly fries to be something that, 65% of Spins users in-house will get to see that? That's what I'm thinking here. I want my curly fries to be a 65% frequency chance. I'm going to go ahead and choose very frequent. And then I'm going to choose next. So it's going to ask me the selecting appropriate phrase. This is just like we saw when we were creating a standard deal. Which of these has the correct language choice that's appropriate for my item? So $1 off curly fries is actually pretty accurate. $1 off a curly fries, and none of these really work. So I'm going to go with $1 off curly fries. So review and edit phrasing. I got 20%, 25%, 75 cents off curly fries, or $1 off curly fries. These are all the correct terms. If I wanted to change them, I could edit them, but I'm going to go ahead and choose next. They're going to ask me if I want to have any redemption codes. You have the opportunity and choice to allow an in-house spin to have redemption codes. You can use any of your point of sale systems to go ahead and enter those. I'm going to skip that and go ahead and move forward. It's then going to ask me to select up to 4 images for my curly fries. Much like before, I have the opportunity to use multiple images, and I can upload them or I can search through the stock images. I'm going to go ahead and choose to upload the image. And I'm going to drop the image of my curly fries right in here. I'm going to then choose the crop tool and figure out what angle I want. And I want to show that catch up. Remember I can zoom in or I can, decrease or increase the size of this crop area, but I think right there looks pretty good. That tells me exactly what I'm looking at. So there we go. Now my curly fries image is set. I'm going to go ahead and choose to upload it. You'll see the upload dialog finish. And now my curly fries in-house spin image is set. I'm going to go ahead and choose next. And now it's going to ask me to look at any advanced settings. Do I want to change any additional terms? Nope, looks pretty good to me. Do I want to set a return window between now and 3 days? Now, this is a very, very, very important part of the process of building an in-house deal. If a customer has come in and they've already got a deal that they want to spin, they were out there, they used the Spins app, they came in and they've got maybe the offer that they've got already includes a side. They don't necessarily want to use this in-house deal while they've already got a full meal. Or maybe it's just not appropriate. Maybe they got like a free soda, but they've already got a soda that's in their deal. So if we let a customer use an in-house spin and they get an item that, is something that they not necessarily want to use at that visit, will we allow them to come back? Well, yeah, and you can choose the interval that you're comfortable with. This is one of the most important tools that Spins provides you to get that replay factor from your customers. Get them back in the door. This creates a sense of urgency. You can determine how much urgency you want by using this, this section right here. If you had provided a entree item, maybe a buy one get one offer or something really fantastic, you want to get them back in the door, then maybe setting it within up to 2 weeks is a pretty good choice. Maybe if it's just a side item, maybe that's something that you want to get them to come back in within, say, maybe 5 days. I'm going to choose 5 days because that'll give the customer the opportunity to come back within 5 days and use that free curly fry offer. I think that's a pretty good interval for something like curly fries. You can choose if you wanted to have a 2-day interval, 1 week, 2 week. You can think of your food items and how frequently customers come to your restaurant. This is very, very flexible and gives you the opportunity to use the spins that they in-house spin in the way that's appropriate to your restaurant. It's also important to note that the customer can use this item on the same visit. You might have an item where you don't want the customer to use it on the same visit. Maybe you want them to specifically only have the opportunity to use this on a return visit. If you uncheck that box, the return window is now tomorrow and up to 5 days from now. You can change that to tomorrow and up to 2 weeks. Maybe this is more appropriate. You'll know your traffic of your common customers and your frequent and infrequent customers. And if you know that their intervals are about every week or 2 weeks, maybe this is more appropriate. But if you're looking to get that really good return window, maybe you're looking to create that sense of urgency, maybe one of these earlier options is better for you. This is entirely up to you, but we wanted to give you that flexibility so that you could choose how to get customers back in the door. So I'm going to go ahead and choose to let the customers use it on the same visit because a side item is probably appropriate, especially for a customer who's just installed the app when they came into your restaurant. And you need to think about that when you're building the strategy. If a customer comes into your restaurant and they've just installed the Spins app while they're in your restaurant, using that in-house spin on that first visit is probably the right choice for you. But again, your restaurant may be different. Maybe you actually think that it would be better to have them come back later, so we give you that choice. So now that I've made my selection for the return window, I'm going to go ahead and choose the valid times, and I want my curly fries to be available at all times. From opening to close, we provide that item all day, so it's perfectly fine. Maybe your in-house offer is a breakfast item, or maybe a late night item, and in that case, you could choose a time that's more appropriate. The valid days, I want it available all days of the week. We sell those curly fries 7 days a week. It makes total sense. And I want to run this deal indefinitely, but I could choose to uncheck this and create a limited time offer spin. And you can, of course, after you create a limited time offer spin like that, you could create promotional materials in your restaurant that promote that you're currently running a limited time offer to spin for something special in-house. That's a really great way to create that sense of urgency. It's a great way to get customers to install spins. And when they install spins in your restaurant, they already become a frequent customer. That's a great way to get them back in because you've created a marketing relationship. You've created a deal relationship with that customer, and they've already used the app, and now they're going to be seeing your deals more often. So this is just a great way to get that hook in. So I'm going to go ahead and choose save. And when I do so, my deals have been created successfully. So down below, you'll see in the in-house deals section, just like before we made standard deals, you'll see your actual in-house deals listed. Now, because I chose 4 options, and I made them all very frequent return windows, or very frequent, deal distribution. So these are going to be seen 65% of the time. I've now satisfied the requirements for the 3 frequent or very frequent in-house deals. I can, of course, choose to make more. So right now, I have the return window options, which I could come in here and change that return window. If I felt later on that maybe this wasn't quite the right choice, I could come here and make a change. I can then, of course, choose to change any of the days. I can also come in and just edit it like I would before, just like a regular deal, just to come in here, change any details I need to, change that deal frequency, change the redemption codes, change an image. All those options are available to me. I can also choose to pause it, clone that deal, or archive it for later use. So that is the basic creation of an in-house deal from the frequent and very frequent positions. Let's go ahead and make another in-house deal and discuss other strategy choices. Let's look at an entire order option. So now that I've got selecting multiple discounts for an entire order, I'm thinking about this in a different way. So now we have 2 different types of in-house spins customers. The customer who installs the app in your restaurant upon entering, or the customer who's come in with their own offer. So they've come in, they've spun a deal of yours already. They've come into the restaurant, they've checked in, and they get prompted by the app, hey, you're in the restaurant, let's do an in-house spin. An entire order discount is a great way to dazzle your customers and make them come back in the door. This is a choice that you can choose to promote, put a promotional material up, tell people you've got an opportunity for this, and maybe this is an infrequent, very, very infrequent choice. I'm going to go ahead and choose 50% off, and I'm also going to choose to create a 75% off offer on all of an entire order. Now, this is an extremely infrequent offer. As you see, I'm going to make it here in a moment. I'm going to choose it to be like 1 in 200 spins. But what an offer! What an absolute showstopper! If a customer comes into your restaurant and sees the opportunity to get half of their entire order or even 75% off, that's amazing. I'm going to go ahead and choose next, and I'm going to choose to make this an extremely rare option. Now that I've done that and I choose next, it's going to basically give me the opportunity to change my deal phrasing if I need to, just like before. 55% off your entire order, 75% off your entire order. You could make it a very large promotional material that says that come in-house, come into the restaurant and spend for an opportunity to get 75% off your entire order. 1 in 200 chance, the amount of in-house spins and return visits that'll come in just for the opportunity to try to get that is going to translate into so much profit for you. Because if you think about it, every single purchase those customers make when they come into your restaurant attempting to get this is just absolutely profit margin filling for you. It's going to be fantastic. And remember, 1 in 200 isn't really that impossible number to hit. So customers are going to be getting this opportunity. And when they do, you're going to get a customer who's going to be loyal to you and enthusiastic about your brand and your food for a long time. So let's go ahead and choose next after that. I'm not going to add any deal codes to this one, but I am going to go ahead and list some of my food. So what am I... This is one of those options that we talked about earlier. What do we want to do? Do we want to list the logo for a restaurant, or do we want to show some of your food? In this situation, because I'm talking about an entire order, I feel that showing some of my food is really appropriate. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the upload feature here. And I'm going to drop in my roast cheddar panini sandwich. I'm going to throw in a picture of our veggie avocado sandwich. I'm also going to throw in my tomato tuna. This is actually a really fantastic tuna salad, tomato, and cabbage sandwich that we have. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw one of our breakfast items on there as well, the steak and egg sandwich. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that all these have the crops exactly how I like them. And that one's pretty much where I like it. I'm going to come in here and just kind of tweak that one just a little bit there. Make sure that all of my deal images look exactly right. And I'm going to go ahead and focus, get more of that roast beef when we get the fried egg up on top. So now I've got 4 different food items showing. So all 4 of these will cycle. When somebody gets an opportunity to spend one of my in-house deals for an entire order, they'll see one of these 4 images. Just keeps things nice and fresh. I'm going to go ahead and choose upload. And now I've got 4 deal images set up for this amazing offer. I'm going to go ahead and choose next. So now I've got the deal terms. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at these. Do I want this to be a dine-in only customer? Because I have a drive-through. Do I want to have a customer who gets that in-house spin and they're driving through the drive-through and they get the 75% off their entire order? I want to ask them, do I want this to be a customer who only comes in the restaurant, or do I want them to be able to go ahead and get that offer in a drive-through? I'm going to go ahead and let it just be every customer. Again, remember, if you add any extra restrictions, you might actually negatively impact your deal. So I don't feel that that's worth the risk. I'm going to go ahead and not use that option. But I'm going to set the return window. Now, this is one of those interesting opportunities to start asking yourself a question. If you're offering such an amazing deal, do you want to let that customer have the opportunity to use that at their same visit, or do you want them to come back at the next visit? There are different schools of thought about this, but I am of the opinion that for Mike's Sandwiches, I'm going to choose that the customer can only use this on a return visit because it's such an amazing deal. There's just virtually no chance they wouldn't come back and try it. So then I get 2 visits from this customer, one at full profit or whatever their original spin deal was, and then one coming in to take advantage of this amazing offer. Because remember, while they may come in with their entire ticket and get that incredible discount, they might bring friends with them to come experience and see this. And you can set, limits if you want it for, you could limit it to only 1 customer. You could change it that way. You got lots of options available, but I'm going to go ahead and set it to only, to only not be used by the same visit. So that sets it to tomorrow. And then I'm going to choose 2 weeks because I want to give them 2 weeks to come back, talk to all their friends about this amazing deal I got at Mike's Sandwiches. Oh my God, I'm going to get 75% off my deal. You got to come in and take a look at this with me. They'll get a chance to really evangelize about you and come in 2 weeks. I'm going to offer this at all times of the day. I'm going to offer it on every day of the week. And I'm going to go ahead and let this run indefinitely. And I'm going to choose save. Now my in-house deals are created successfully, and as you come down here, you'll see that my frequency is 1 in 200. The deal odds are extremely rare, but that is an amazing offer. I can come in and make any edits to this deal as I need, and you can tell it's an extremely rare frequency, and there's just so many great things that come out of using these in-house deals. So just like before, when we go to create an in-house deal, we can choose to make a custom deal. Maybe you have food items, or maybe you have an offer that you're thinking of that's just really, really interesting, and you want that to be the in-house deal. Maybe you've got some wild promotion that you're looking, and you can't really find anything in the single item or entire order that really fits it. Come in here into custom deal and write that text out as you see fit, and then choose how rare or frequent that deal should be. You can also clone existing in-house deals to build off of that. So we hope that we've given you a really great introduction to how to create in-house deals and how to use the strategy for their return visits to get the most out of your opportunities with your SPINS customers. Make sure to watch our other tutorial videos where we discuss in-depth strategy about using in-house deals and setting up those return windows. And make sure to check out how to create standard deals and follow those advanced GEMS tutorial videos where we discuss how your customers will see the deals and how they will respond to that.